Hello and welcome to another Action Figure Adventures video. Today, Baby Skeletor and I are taking a look at some Power Ranger toys. First up, I picked up this Green Ranger from the Super Megaforce line. He's the original Mighty Morphin Green Ranger. He's got removable armor and his dragon dagger, and he looks pretty cool. Baby Skeletor spent his allowance at Ollie's Bargain Outlet and picked up these two Megaforce weapon packs. They're being kind of clearanced out. The two sets combined contain all of the weapons from Megaforce, and they can all click together to make their super weapon. And they come with some of the playing card things that the Rangers stick into the weapons and the Morphers power them up. Alright, here's a closer look at that Green Ranger packaging. On the back of the package we get all the details here, including the battle gear and the posability of the figure. It also shows off some of the other characters they're doing. Basically, popular and current Red Rangers and the Mighty Morphin 6th Rangers. Down here at the bottom it talks about collecting all the Power Ranger keys, and you can see there are quite a few of them available. Here's the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger out of the package. He was our first introduction to the 6th Ranger that would come and join the team each season, being the sort of super awesome, badass character. In the Mighty Morphin series it was Tommy Oliver, the new kid at school, and he started out as a bad guy, which made him extra interesting. So we have the Green Ranger here. He has his chest armor, little arm guards, another set of hands, and his dragon dagger. I'm going to go ahead and snap on those accessories. Zoomed in here, you can actually see his Dragon Zord power coin in his morpher. And I'm going to pop his hands off. You can actually pop them off at the wrist here, but I actually need to pop them off at the glove swivel. So that way I can put these arm guards on. Alright, getting the Green Ranger's arm guards in place took a little bit of fidgeting. But once I had them pushed up nicely, they seem to stay in place alright. There's actually little grooves that match with his muscles, and that kind of hold him in place there pretty well. The next thing I have to put on is his gold vest here. This protects him. I remember when he shared the vest with other Rangers a couple times in the series as a kid, and it blew me away that he could transfer this power to the other Rangers. I thought that was so cool. So this kind of snaps on at the shoulders. And then underneath here, there's little tabs that go in place that get clipped on underneath. Now that I have the Green Ranger suited up and his dragon dagger attached to his belt here, it can actually hook on either side. Let's take a look at his posability. He's got ball joints at his shoulders, elbows. There's a pivot up here by the shoulder. There's a swivel at the gauntlet, as well as ball joints at his wrists. His hips have a full range of motion. There's actually a swivel cut underneath that ball joint at the hip. He's got a knee joint. He's got boot cut and ankle rockers. His waist has a pivot point there, and there's a little ab crunch underneath that. And his head can move and look around. Not really up and down, but side to side. Here's the Green Ranger holding his dragon dagger. You can see it's pretty nicely detailed, although it's not really painted very accurately. It's got a little bit of green detail and a little bit of gold, and the rest of it's pretty much just black. He can hold in either one of his hands. They are fist-shaped. He also comes with another set of hands. Here's the Green Ranger switched over with his open hands. I'm not exactly sure why there's a peg hole in this hand, but the sword can be plugged into it. Doesn't really give him any useful poses. Exactly. But you can do that. And let's see if we can get him to look like he's playing the dragon dagger. Well, it's not quite perfect, but you can get the sword to his lips, and you can kind of get his fingers playing the keys. This is with it plugged in. You might be able to position it some other way. Get it a little bit better. I tried to use this other hand here. It tended to get the sword far from his face. But I was trying to get his fingers on... Whoops, his armor popped off there. Which is occasionally an issue. I was trying to get his fingers posed on the keys a little bit better, but that is kind of tricky. But any kid from the 90s will recall Tommy blowing into this dragon dagger flute to call the Dragon Zord out from the ocean. It's always a very exciting piece of the story. And he could control the Zord magically with the flute too, which nobody else seemed to be able to do. And I think something was lost in the translation from the Japanese show, but I don't really know. It's pretty cool. Let's see if we can force that even closer to his mouth now. I really like this Green Ranger. He's pretty well articulated, nicely detailed, although very, very buff compared to the actors in the show. I know having the swappable armor between the different figures is sort of the selling point of this line, but unfortunately, it's a little annoying having the armor come apart. It's not horrible, but once in a while playing, I've had the armband come down, or the chest piece come apart. Like even right now, this isn't connected properly, and that therefore bumped the armband off. I think he looks good. He'll be cool on display. I like the scale of these guys, and the details with like symbol in the morpher and the sculpt on the helmet is really, really nice. So, pretty good. Bandai, again, kind of like with the Thundercats they did. Cut a few corners. The armor makes it not super noticeable, but I don't like these divots in his shoulder. I kind of wish we could have had him without that. Alright, the second Power Ranger items we had to look at today were the Power Rangers Megaforce weapon sets here. We have the Snake Axe, Tiger Claw, and Shark Bowgun. And over here we have the Dragon Sword and Phoenix Shot. These two sets can combine to form a super weapon, and Baby Skeletor was bugging me to get him for him because he already had the blaster from Megaforce. The back of the package shows how the items can connect to form the Mega Blaster. Here's the Dragon Sword. You can see based on my hand, the weapons are very tiny. This is more of a dagger than a sword. It has a little trigger here that activates the sounds. Here's the Phoenix Shot. It doesn't really do anything. They both have the ability to attach cards to them. Here's the Red Ranger card. It does acknowledge there's a card there, but it seems to be the same no matter what card's in there. I'm a pretty big fan of the Snake Axe in the series. It reminds me of the Power Axe that Zack had in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Again, it's very, very tiny, sort of like a hatchet. You can insert a card into it. Just like that. Oops. Just like that. It'll stay in. Here's the Tiger Claw. Again, very, very tiny. Little bladed handheld weapon. It also can hold a card. Here's the Shark Blowgun. It can actually fire a projectile using this trigger, and can be combined with the other weapons. Here we have both sets combined with all the cards on the appropriate places to form the Mega Blaster. And there it is from the underside. Each one of the weapons has a little tiny release button that allows you to take them apart. Sometimes finding them can be a little bit tricky. I'm happy to have the Green Ranger in my collection, and I know Baby Skeletor is already plotting how he can conquer Eternia using his new Megaforce weapons. This has been an Action Figure Adventures video. Do Baby Skeletor a favor, hit that like and subscribe button.